This was a hard one. Very hard to get through this one. It wasn't easy. But I did it!
Just look for it. I promise you, it's there. The collateral beauty.
Oh, boy. Okay. Alright. I don't know how long this episode is going to go on because there's so much to talk about, so I'm going to give you guys the short version here. Well, actually, I'll go into a little bit of history about how I came across this movie, okay? I'll give you the short version of that, because you guys want to hear me talk about this movie just in time for the holidays, right? Okay. We have the poster for this movie hanging up in the lobby of the theater that I work at. I took one look at this poster. I knew exactly what kind of movie this was going to be. I avoided it at all costs. The movie comes out. People are talking. They say what the plot of this movie is. And I could not believe what I was hearing, guys. I had to see this for myself. I had to see it for myself. I had to. Had to see it for myself. And I did. And now I'm gonna tell you what I think now. Here's the short version. It sucked. It sucked. Horrible. Horrible movie. A pain to sit through. Not good. Not a good movie. Now let's go into the long version. Okay, so I'll just talk about this movie as best I can, story-wise, and then we'll go into the stuff that I really hated about this film, and how manipulative it was, and how it just pounds into your head. Alright, we'll get there. Alright, so here's the story. The story is Will Smith plays, an agency boss, I think. I know he's the boss. He's the boss of an agency and advertising company, something like that. They don't really specify it, but he's the boss, and he's giving this big speech about the 3 things that he thinks are most important when it comes to advertising or life, as they put it. And those 3 things are death, time, and love. Those 3 things. So, yeah, he's giving a big speech about that. And then, 1 minute into this movie, I am not kidding you, 1 minute into this movie, cuts to 3 years later. I'm not kidding, it says 3 years later. And Will Smith is in his office looking at a bunch of dominoes that he put up that obviously, well, actually they mentioned in the movie, it took him 5 days to set up these dominoes. There's dominoes all over. He built like monuments of dominoes all over his office that he just, and they just go all over. Which I honestly believe, because as this scene is going on, the opening credits are going, I think someone just came up with this, just threw this into the movie, because the song that's playing during the opening credits while this is happening, it's very symbolic. It's all about symbolism, it's all about that. Because, you know, crashing down, and dominoes are crashing down and everything, and all I'm thinking of is, God, I just want to listen to Genesis' song Domino. That's all I want to listen to. That's all I'm thinking of. But anyway, so that leaves. And then his 3 friends, Edward Norton, Kate Winslet, and Michael Pena. I think that's how you pronounce it. Pena? I don't know. But he's actually a pretty good actor. I've seen him in a few movies. But anyway, those 3 are his best friends. And they're worried about why he's acting so gloomy. Because we're 3 years later, we're 2 minutes in from where we started, the first minute of this movie. And they say, well, he's sad, he's gloomy. We don't know why. He was really happy in the first minute. Why is he sad here? And then Edward Norton is having a conversation with Kate Winslet, and in this scene, we learn one of the most key elements of this movie. It turns out that within those 3 years, Will Smith's daughter died. And this is how we find out about it. Edward Norton is sitting down next to Kate Winslet, and they're talking about, you know, because they're worried about their boss. And he says, his daughter's dead. She died. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, that must be why he's upset. All right, I guess. I don't know. But it would seem a little better if it was coming from Will Smith or showing a flashback or something. I don't know. But hearing it from a coworker, a friend of his, okay, that makes sense. And So that happens, and they're worried about him. They're worried about what's going to happen, and then we cut to some BS about Edward Norton's life and how he's a dick and everything. He cheated on his wife, and his daughter doesn't want to see him anymore. And the kid who's playing his daughter is a horrible actress. Because this is how I would react to my father if my father was cheating on my mother. Mommy doesn't like you anymore. And his daughter's about maybe 9, 10 years old, okay? She goes, oh, Mommy doesn't like you anymore. I don't love you. You betray the word love because you cheated on Mommy. I'm not going to spend Christmas with you anymore. Bye. I would take my book bag and beat the shit out of my father and be screaming mad. Even at age 9, 10, or whatever that little girl looks like, I would be pissed at my father if my father caused a divorce within my parents, and probably scarred me for life when it comes to trust issues. I mean, dude, that kind of shit can scar a kid for life. I mean, my God, but you know, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got a monologue in this about life and love, and God, this poster said it all, guys. The poster said it all. You didn't need to see the movie, you just had to look at the poster. Alright, so anyway, okay, so everyone's living their life, and it's Christmas time. It's apparently Christmas isn't really a theme in this movie, but it's happening throughout a majority of the movie, so okay. I'm like, is this a Christmas movie or not? It didn't look like it was advertised as one, but alright. So, that's going on, and then the plot takes a turn for what I thought was going to be incredibly funny, because the way everybody was saying this online, like all the reviewers were talking about this movie and what the plot of this movie really is, this made me want to see the movie, but it didn't turn out that way. I just ended up hating this movie more and more. This is the main plot of the movie. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. I am not kidding you. I am not freaking kidding you. This is the plot, okay? So, his 3 friends, Will Smith's 3 friends, are worried about him. So, what they're going to do is, because it's 3 years later, he's still getting over that. Well, he's basically going through turmoil and depression. And it turns out that this whole time, Will Smith has been writing letters to those 3 things: love, death, and time. And he's writing letters to those 3 aspects of his psyche, I think. And he puts them in a mailbox and he mails them. Okay, it's very therapeutic. He's got to get through this in some way. Okay, fine, I understand that. That's actually interesting. I wish it focused more on that. But instead, what we get is Edward Norton, Kate Winslet, and Michael Pena spying on him, so freaking worried about him. By the way, do these people have lives? I don't know. They're so preoccupied with Will Smith's life. And you want to know why? You want to know why they're so preoccupied with Will Smith's life? Because they are afraid, wait for it, they are so afraid that he is going to dump them because he's so depressed that he will fire them or something. Like Kate Winslet will lose her job because he's so depressed about losing his daughter. So therefore Kate Winslet won't get paid. And Michael Pena won't get paid because apparently he has cancer and he's hiding that from his wife because he doesn't want to hurt his wife. Oh yeah, did I mention that? That comes in out of nowhere and that disappears out of nowhere. That was a stupid plot device. And then we have Edward Norton, who's the biggest dick in this movie. I freaking love Edward Norton. I hated this character that he plays. He comes in and he's worried that, oh, he's not going to be the CEO anymore of the company. He could lose his job. I want my money to be saved. Oh no, we got to help Will Smith overcome this problem. This is why. But that's not even the stupidest part of the movie. It's not. Here it comes. Edward Norton runs into Keira Knightley, who is an actress, and she walks out of the audition that they have in this ad agency, and he follows her, basically to get the plot going, really. There's no reason to follow her. He just to get the plot going. He follows her across town into this underground theater production where she's putting on a show with Helen Mirren and this other guy. I don't know this guy's name. This guy actually could be a really good actor. He wasn't bad in this. It's just bad material. But anyway, Edward Norton follows Keira Knightley and he meets Helen Mirren and these other guys, and he comes up with an idea. Wait for it. because I couldn't believe this, guys. He gets Helen Mirren and Keira Knightley and this other guy. What is this guy's name? Okay, that, yeah. Okay, he gets them to play the parts of death, love, and time. Helen Mirren is going to play death. Keira Knightley's going to play love. And is going to play time. Okay? The three of them. And they're going to bump into Will Smith out of nowhere and help him be therapeutic with what he's writing about. And guys, I am not kidding you. This is the movie. This is the movie. Okay, let's start with a couple of things. Number one, this is obviously a ripoff of Bowfinger. It really is, okay? Because in here's the thing. Well, it's not really like Bowfinger, but let me put it this way. In Bowfinger, when you had the actors coming up to Eddie Murphy and he didn't know what was going on, it was funny because they were obviously playing up for laughs. Here, it's a drama. This guy, Will Smith's character, he is going through hell dealing with the fact that he lost his daughter to cancer. Okay? He lost his daughter. And he's writing these letters as therapy for himself to help him cope with that. His friends are making it 1,000,000 times more worse by having some actors they randomly just met coming in and saying hi to Will Smith and pretending that they are the ones he is writing to. Okay, I don't know anything about that, but I'll tell you something. If I was Will Smith, and I found out that my best friends, by the way, they are their best friends. They say that in the movie. These are his best friends. If my friends were doing that to me, fuck you, man. Fuck you. That is a horrible thing to do to someone who just lost their daughter. That is awful. And this is the plot of the movie. And I'm not kidding. Like, that really happens. So then, and Helen Mirren's walking around going, oh my God, I'm such a wonderful actress. I'm actually pulling it off. Will Smith really believes that I am death and he's writing to me and everything. And by the way, okay, that's the really stupid part. Wait till you hear this. They also have a woman, the three friends, okay? Edward Norton, Kate Winslet, and Michael Pena. By the way, what the hell are these three actors doing in this piece of shit? They're talented. What are they doing in this? So anyway, they hire this woman who works with them, and this is how they get the letters, because these letters that Will Smith is writing, by the way, they're spying on him constantly. He writes these letters and he puts them in the mailbox right outside of his house in New York City. And what happens is, the woman that the three friends hire is stalking him everywhere. So she apparently has a key to the mailbox that unlocks the mailbox and takes the three letters. Yeah, folks, this is the reality we are in this movie. Taking the three letters out and giving them to the friends, and they're reading them and what he's reading about, his inner, his inner monologue, his inner self, and what he's feeling. And they're gonna give that stuff that's very personal, stuff that maybe Will Smith isn't ready to discuss with his friends yet. It might take him years to go through all this stuff. I mean, hell, it's been 3 years since he lost his daughter. He's obviously dealing with heavy stress on his back. And they're just going to give these letters that are basically what should be kept in a diary to three random actors that he doesn't even know. So that the actors know what he's writing so that they can say, hey, you wrote me this letter. Hey, remember this in the letter? Remember this in the letter? This, and this. I read this, so I know. What? What the hell am I watching here? But then, that's not even the stupidest part. So then, Will Smith finally comes across this woman. And she is in charge of this, what I guess is a group chat, pretty much, of women and men who have had traumatic things happen to them. It's basically a social meeting, pretty much. And they all sit around and they're talking. And Will Smith walks in. And he sits down, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is good. This is what I want to see. I want to see a guy. We're obviously doing a movie about a man who's going through turmoil and losing a daughter. I want to see that. I don't want to see this bullshit with the actors reading his diary shit and saying that you wrote it to me. Oh, and by the way, the three friends, they pay these actors. They pay them. They pay them $20,000. And I'm not even kidding you. Keira Knightley doesn't want to do it. She's the only actress out of the three actors that says, hey, I don't want to do this. This is horrible. This is terrible. And then she walks away. And Edward Norton, and she does this a couple of times in the movie. Edward Norton follows her and he says, no, you got to do this for Will Smith. You got to do it. He's my best friend. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. So finally, I'm just sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, is this how the meeting went to get Keira Knightley in this movie? Because it sure sounds like it. I mean, can you imagine? Just replace Edward Norton with the Hollywood producer and say, you gotta do this movie, you gotta do it, I'll pay you an extra 20 grand if you do it. Please do it, please do it, please do it. That's what it felt like. And so Will Smith finally opens up a little bit and he mentions he had a daughter. He can't mention her name. It's really hard for him. And the woman finally turns to him, and they have a nice little relationship going on, and she talks about collateral beauty, but she says it in a very whimsical and very poetic speech, to where I'm just thinking to myself, oh God, this is the ego stick, folks. The ego stick. I am so sick of Will Smith making movies this way. I am so sick of it. Remember Fresh Prince? Remember Men in Black? Remember those movies when he was a badass? When he was funny? Like, I'm not against Will Smith being serious, but oh my God, I thought After Earth was a stroke job of his ego. No, not After Earth, folks. This is way worse. So anyway, and here's the thing, I wouldn't even be against that. It's just that every single scene in this movie was exposition and poetic bullshit. That's all this was. Every time you had a character say something that was supposed to make you feel something, I didn't feel anything. We don't know anything about these characters other than the fact that they're doing this to their friend, hiring actors they don't even know, giving actors personal shit that Will Smith read that obviously he doesn't want anyone else to read. Those are your friends? That's horrible. Horrible. And I wouldn't mind if this was supposed to be a comedy, but it's not. This is supposed to be taken seriously. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe it. And so finally, the end of the movie comes along, and we find out that his daughter, I don't know how this works, somehow the script changes a little bit. So, okay. So obviously, oh, wait a minute, before I get to the ending, you gotta check this out, okay? Are you ready for this? Ready for this? Everything we talked before, that's not the stupid part. Here's the stupid part, okay? They have an idea. They are finally going to confess to Will Smith of what they've been doing. Oh, no. Not confess to him that they hired actors to help him cope with this. No. What they're going to do is, they're going to videotape him interacting with the three actors. With Helen Mirren playing Death, Keira Knightley playing Love, and Jacob Lattimore. Okay, I got his name now. Jacob Lattimore is Time. They're going to film him. I couldn't believe what I was watching. They film him interacting with all three of them individually. And then they show him the footage because they think, the three best friends, they think that if they can film him interacting with the three actors, then he will come out with what he's been writing and say it out loud so they can see what he's going through. And he does, but because these three actors are supposed to be spiritual and only he can see them and no one else can, or at least that's what they want him to think, they're going to digitally remove the actors. So we see the scene of him interacting with Helen Mirren and Jacob Lattimore and Keira Knightley, all those scenes. And then they're digitally removed when they're showing him the footage. Filmed off off of an iPhone! An iPhone! This is the kind of phone I have, folks. I don't own an iPhone. Even I know an iPhone cannot do that. Oh! And guess what, guys? No green screen. No green screen. No, they film him on an iPhone in the middle of the street in New York. Or on the subway. No green screen. How in God's name did they remove Helen Mirren off of a subway from a conversation that Will Smith had on an iPhone without a green screen? How the fuck is that possible? So, that was the nail in the coffin for me, guys. If you thought everything else about this movie was stupid, you ain't seen nothing. Nothing at all. So, the ending finally comes, and Will Smith eventually says, and they never tell him, oh, we hired actors, we paid them 20 grand to do this. Yeah, we paid them to do this. He never finds out. In this magical world of bullshit land, at the end, we finally find out the shocking twist. It turns out that the woman in the study session, in the study group, or not study group, I can't think of the word for it, but anyway, the woman that Will Smith is having a relationship with, it turns out that she was the mother the whole time of the daughter, and he obviously was the father. So now you see the two of them hugging, and they're sad, and they miss their daughter and everything. And then they're walking, oh, and by the way, and Will Smith talks to his three best friends, Edward Norton, Kate Winslet, and Michael Pena, and they're gonna be okay, they're gonna be okay. He's gonna leave Edward Norton as CEO of the aging company. He's gonna get Kate Winslet to keep her job. Michael Pena, all his savings are gonna be trusted over to his family when he passes away. Oh, blah, 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 everybody's okay, all right. So what happened? What about the three actors? What about them, the actors they hired? Well, they're all standing on top of a bridge, and Will Smith and his wife, his girlfriend wife now, I guess, the script wills it at the very end, they're walking, and Will Smith looks up and sees the three of them smiling and waving, and then his girlfriend wife looks back at them, and there's nothing there. Sure, why the hell not? Why the hell not? If an iPhone can digitally remove people, yeah, I'll believe anything, okay? So now I guess they really are the soul of life, death, and time. I guess they really are. They were all this time. Maybe they were acting the whole time. What a twist! Oh, God. The twist in After Earth was better than this shit. Oh. So that's Collateral Beauty. It sucked!
Who did you write the letter to?
I wrote the letter to Death.
Nice to meet you. They're charmed, I'm sure.
Nope.
But you know what? That's not even why I hate this movie, not only because of how stupid it is, but because it takes a serious issue dealing with the loss of a child or someone you love at Christmas time and completely hams it up with stupid characters, stupid actions, a stupid plot, and tries to get you to be manipulated the whole time. Right here, assholes. Right here. Right here. And you know what? I hate cursing. I hate flipping guys off, because I don't know who watches the show. I hope little kids don't watch the show. But, you know, that really angered me. Really, it did. This is supposed to be taken seriously, guys. It would have been fine if it was a comedy. Therefore, you wouldn't have had to take it seriously. But you know what? This is so trying to be like an Oscar-nominated movie, and it fails on all levels, guys. This was a piece of garbage. It was terrible. God-awful. Worse than I thought. Because when I heard the reaction online, I thought I was going to get a comedy. Because this premise, holy shit, I've never heard of a movie. I've never heard of anything like this before. That's meant to be taken seriously. Okay? I've heard of crazy plots, but usually those crazy plots are tied to something like The Room, or Troll 2, or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or Plan 9 from Outer Space, or like B movies like that. Not a Will Smith Hollywood-made movie that's meant to be taken seriously. Not a film like this. Oh, I don't even know what else to say about it. Now I know why the studio put this out with Rogue One. They knew nobody would come see it. Everyone would go see Star Wars. But, oh god. Guys, I gotta say, I usually don't do a plug here, but I gotta tell you, this movie is not just bad. This movie is right up the nostalgia critics area. I'm not kidding. This is a nostalgia critic bad film. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised when this comes on DVD and Blu-ray. Oh my god, if you buy this on Blu-ray, don't even try that. No, not even DVD. It's not worth it. Time isn't worth it. Time's more important than money, folks. I didn't pay to see this. I suffered time, okay? So I suffered greatly, even though I didn't pay for it. But still, I can see the nostalgia critic reviewing this movie a couple months from now. I'm not kidding. It's that bad. It is that bad. So, yeah. Oh, one more thing I want to tell you guys. There's one thing. This made me burst out laughing so hard. I was afraid that two people all the way behind me were going to tell me to shut up. But the way Will Smith said it, this is okay. Let me tell you the scene here. This really got me laughing. The scene where Will Smith is talking to Keira Knightley as Love, and he's saying he's grabbing her and he's angry and he says, "You weren't there when she died. You know, you made me feel stuff when I was younger, when I was with my daughter." And you got a ball inside of me when she called me daddy. Okay, Will Smith is angry. He's doing that little sexy cry. You know, like in movies when people cry, it's always that one tear. He's crying and he's grabbing Keira Knightley. He's so angry. He's like, "And you were all up inside of me when she called me daddy." Can you imagine Will Smith saying that to Keira Knightley and being mad and sad at the same time? That was fucking hysterical, guys. That was hysterical. I know that's not what he means, what I'm thinking, but still, guys, that was worth it. That was so worth it. Okay, I've gone on long enough about this movie. Yeah, it's a piece of shit. Don't see it. I'll see you guys in the next review. Later.